What's going on, brothers? It's Craig James here. You can find me on Twitter at the handle Masculine Design. I want to talk to you this morning about resiliency. I have experienced a lack of resiliency in my life at times. I see it going on in the lives of men around me. Most notably, I see men who start down a path that they've professed to be important to them. They want to accomplish something. They want something to change in their lives. They start working toward that thing. They see some results. And then an obstacle comes. An unforeseen challenge faces them, and they drop off. They say, you know what? I really don't want that. Or I don't want it as bad as I thought I did. And the reality is they do want it that bad, but they aren't willing to do what is necessary to get it because they didn't count the cost from the get-go. They thought it was going to be easier. They thought things would just flow smoothly. And then as soon as rough waters come, they start throwing all their supplies overboard and abandon ship. But we have to have resiliency as men. We have to understand from the outset that when we set out to accomplish something, there are going to be challenges. There are going to be obstacles that must be overcome. Most likely, there are going to be challenges and obstacles that we had no idea were on the horizon. Most likely, there are going to be obstacles that are more formidable than any we could have ever conjured up in our minds when we first start on the journey of accomplishing some worthy goal. And I see men who are 100 pounds overweight start working to take that weight off. And they drop those, quick 5 to 10 pounds that are mostly water weight, and they get real excited. And then a couple weeks in, that slows down, and they're tired of eating the same foods all the time and restricting themselves from desserts or pizza or whatever it is that they're not eating that they typically would want to eat. And they give in. They give in to the temptation. So they scale back a little bit. They start eating some of these foods that they know are not in alignment with their goals, but they give in to that temptation because they start seeing those results start to wane. When in reality, what they need is a dose of resiliency. Yeah, your results are going to fluctuate when you start working to lose weight or build muscle, whatever you're working toward. The kinds of progression that we see in our journeys as we work to actualize our potential is never linear. In fact, I see it more as a step function. You have kind of a gradual increase, and then boom, you have a larger increase that seems to come overnight. These improvements that are very stark, very pointed, that are then followed by some duration of not nearly the same significant improvement that you saw during that very short period of time. But those durations where you aren't improving by a drastic amount are necessary because they are preparing you for those larger steps, those larger enhancements in your potential and in who you are and your value as a man. And so you have to be resilient because those areas in our lives, those times in our lives when we are working and working and working, we're not seeing those results. That's what leads to the large results we're after. But those times require resiliency. Those times when we're struggling, when we're learning something, when we're finding that maybe the plan we had put in place isn't working the way we thought it would. And so we're doing research, we're networking with the other men in our lives. We're learning from those who have gone before us. We're figuring out things as we go. We're becoming better men in that process. But a lot of men fail to see that. They see that as, well, I'm stagnating. I need to find something else to do. No. You see it through. You dig your heels in. You get resilient. I'm working on what looks like accomplishing a goal that I set out to accomplish nearly 12 years ago. And I'll share more about this in future videos and podcasts, blog postings and whatnot. But that never would be close to coming to fruition had I not displayed resiliency on more occasions than I can even count. And there are times throughout that process where I doubted, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Do I keep going? And in the end, the answer was always yes. And when that goal is accomplished, I'm going to look back on all of those doubts, on all of those times it seemed like I was stagnating. And you know what I'm going to say? It was worth it. When you set out to accomplish something, when you commit in your mind and understand that something is worth pursuing, you are a man. You stick to it. You show that resiliency. You resolve to stick it through, thick and thin, challenges, obstacles and all. And when you make it through to the other side, I can promise you, you will always look back and say, it was worth it. That's my message for you this morning, men. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you have not done so already. Hit the bell ringer button to be notified as new videos are published. And check out what I'm doing at the blog at masculinebydesign.com. I've posted several new articles there over the last couple of weeks. And I think you'll like what you see there. So thank you, men, for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Give this video a share on social media if you enjoy it and think that it could stand to provide some benefit to the men in your circles of influence. Thanks again. Until next time, this is Craig James from masculinebydesign.com. I'm out.